Welcome to the Northgate Church podcast from the heart of Chester in the UK.
So we're going to just begin by looking at the bond between Jesus and John. And as somebody said, and as I think Richard said, he's often referred to as the beloved disciple. I think we'll just have to block out the wonderful activity going on here. But that word beloved just signifies a personal connection with Jesus. And as we said to John, Jesus was his superhero, performing miracles, teaching profound truths, and then he embodied this divine aspect of love. And as we've seen a little bit in the video, this relationship, certainly as we read in the Gospel and letters, this relationship was characterized by trust, affection, and an unwavering commitment to love and to serve. Just imagine, can you just think of John. Imagine having a friend who's not just there for you, only there for you, but he also has the power to calm storms, heal the sick, and even bring the dead back to life. An incredible friend. And this is how John saw Jesus, a true superhero with a heart full of love. So, let's embrace love as a superpower. What is your superpower as a Christian? It is love. It is a superpower. Jesus' greatest commandment to his disciples was what? To love one another as he loved them. And this love, it's not just an emotion, is it? You can feel emotion, but love is something far greater than that. It's a profound, deep, and powerful force that can transform lives and build strong, meaningful relationships. When we think of superheroes, we think of their extraordinary powers like flying or super strength. I don't want super strength because I don't want to be green like that one. But for Jesus, love was his superpower. John was deeply loved by Jesus, and it's reflected in his writings. 1 John 4 says, "Dear friends, let us love one another. For love comes from God. And everyone who has been born of God and knows God. Whoever does not love does not know God, because God, in his very essence, is love." And love is central to Jesus' teaching. And it's a commandment that encompasses all others. And Jesus demonstrated his love through his actions, through healing the sick, feeding the hungry, and then ultimately sacrificing himself on a cross. John experienced this firsthand, and he later wrote about it with such passion, as we've saw in the video clip. You know, when you look at the disciples, it was no easy thing to get along with each other in those early days, because to be honest, they were a right mixed bunch. And there was a lot of friction between them. You had the sensitive ones to the very fiery, passionate ones, the go-getters. And then you've got the ones like Matthew, cautious, meticulous. And then you've got the other ones like Peter we saw last week, the spontaneous, again, fiery ones. But Jesus' influence on that group of people and demonstration of true love bound these brothers, changed these brothers in such a way that would later change the world. And Jesus showed us how to see life through other people's eyes, to understand them through their eyes, to stand in their shoes. That's where compassion comes from, because you can see through other people's eyes, you don't judge, and you try to stand in their shoes to see where they're coming from. He treated everyone with love and respect. And when we choose to love, and love is a choice, we tap into this divine power. And love allows us to see beyond our own needs and desires, and to empathize with others, and to act selflessly. And it brings people together in a way no one else can. Even as a church community, my goodness, we're not the same, are we? We are all very, very different. But it's the love of Jesus that brings us together as a community. So some practical applications. John? Oh, you haven't hidden. Have you got the first one? Thank you.
At home, show appreciation for your family members. Simple acts of kindness like helping with chores or expressing gratitude can strengthen family bonds. For example, you could surprise your siblings by doing their chores, or write a thank you note to your parents for their support. This act of love might seem small, but it can brighten somebody's day and strengthen your bond.
At school or work, practice empathy. Listen actively to others and try to understand their perspectives. This fosters a supportive and collaborative environment. Imagine a friend who seems upset. Instead of ignoring them, take a moment to ask how they're doing and really listen to their response. This act of love can make someone feel valued and heard.
Some great lessons, practical lessons we can learn from there. John was present in key moments in Jesus' ministry, from, as somebody said, the transfiguration to the crucifixion. And his presence at those pivotal times highlights just the importance of being there for the people we care about, just as a superhero would be there to save the day. Being present is more than just about being close to someone physically, physical proximity, but it does mean giving your full attention, looking them in the eye, and being mentally and emotionally engaged with them. You know, in our fast-paced world, it's so easy, isn't it, to be distracted by our phones, our iPad, our WhatsApp, our TikTok, and all those things. We can get absorbed. We can get absorbed in our latest series on Netflix and whatever, and on Prime. And we disconnect from other people. And it's important that we do connect. We are present in the moment. And for John, being at the crucifixion, that just showed his unwavering loyalty and love for Jesus. And that was dangerous to do. And they were frightened because the tide of opinion had turned against them. But he chose to stay by Jesus' side, offering support and comfort in his final moments. And this act of presence just speaks about the depth of John's character and his commitment. So, Rich, and then we've got Patience. How can we put this into practice?
With friends and family, spend quality time together without distractions. Put away your phone and engage in meaningful conversations. Perhaps set aside a family game night or go for a walk with a friend and talk about your day. This presence shows that you value their company and are fully engaged.
That's great. And patience?
In your community, volunteer your time. Being present in your community and offering your support can make a significant impact on others. You might help out at a local food bank or participate in a community cleanup event. This act of service can foster a sense of belonging and community spirit.
Thank you. John demonstrated great courage, as we said, by standing at the foot of the cross during the crucifixion. And this act of loyalty and real compassion in the face of immense sorrow shows us the importance of standing by those we care about, even when times are very difficult. And we may not even feel like it ourselves. But in the pain, you still reach out to other people and face challenges head on. Courage is not the absence of fear, but the strength to act in spite of it. And John knew the risks being associated with Jesus, especially at a perilous time. Yet his compassion for Jesus and his deep sense of love and loyalty just propelled him just to stay there. Do you know, in today's world, we often face situations where standing up for what is right or supporting those in need requires both courage and compassion, whether it's defending a friend who is being bullied or comforting someone who is grieving. And these actions can have a lasting impact. And for kids at school, if you know someone who is being bullied, be a friend to them, even if opinion turns against you. Do you know, I applaud, we were praying about last Wednesday, where the rioting was going around all on the social media and all the various platforms of the various centres that around the country that were going to be targeted by the violent demonstrations against the immigration, and I know that one where Ashcan volunteers up in Liverpool, Asylum Link, that was going to be targeted. So what they did, they boarded up, but there was a great fear in Liverpool, and this message came round: can people go to these centres and support the immigration, people who are migrants and asylum seekers, and against this far-right violence? And Ashkan, you showed me the pictures. I think over 800 people turned up at Asylum Link in the road where they were and protected that building. And it passed by peacefully, and almost something seemed to have been broken there. But that takes great courage and great love to stand up in the face of some public opinion and whatever. So that is courage and compassion. So Ashkan and Taha, you've got the next two.
Thank you. During hard times, offer a shoulder to lean on for friends or family going through tough times. Sometimes just being there is enough. If a friend is dealing with a loss, you can be there to listen and comfort them. This presence can be a source of great comfort and strength.
Standing up for others. defend those who are marginalized or treated unfairly, your support can make difference in their lives. For instance, if you see someone being bullied, stand up for them or report the behaviors to trusted adults. This act of courage can protect others and promote justice.
Thank you. My next point, I'm going to quickly skip over it because time is moving, but it is to cultivate a heart of service, just like John did. John wrote, "Now that I, your Lord and teacher, have washed your feet, you should wash one another's feet. I have set you an example, and you should do as I have done for you." And service can make many forms, from small acts of kindness to long-term commitments. So Sheila and Viv, I think you've got something, practical things, just about serving one another.
Daily acts of service. Look for small ways to serve others daily. It could be as simple as holding the door open or helping a neighbour with groceries. Make it a habit to ask, "How can I help?" in everyday situations. These small acts of service can build a habit of kindness.
Long-term commitment. Consider how you can use your talents and resources to serve a greater cause, whether through volunteering, mentoring, or supporting charitable organisations. Maybe you have a skill in tutoring. Consider helping younger students with their studies. This ongoing commitment can create lasting positive change.
Thank you. So we're just going to come to our final little reflection. It's about spreading love through our words and our actions. So John's writings, as we said, emphasize love, and that's the cornerstone of faith. His gospel and his letters encourage us to love one another genuinely and unconditionally. 1 John 4, we said, we love because he first loved us. And yet that profound truth encapsulates the very essence of Christian love. Words and actions. Not words without actions, but words and actions have immense power. They can build up, but they can also tear down. Words and actions can heal, or they could hurt. They can inspire or discourage. And John understood this and dedicated his life to spreading this message of love, both through his teachings and his actions. Jesus taught that the greatest commandments are to love God with all our heart, with all our heart, with all our soul, our being, our mind, and with all of our strength. And to love our neighbours as ourselves, whoever our neighbour is. Not just the next door neighbour, but what people in society are considered less. We are commissioned, told to love everyone, our neighbour. So by choosing to speak words of encouragement, of kindness and truth, we can uplift others and create a positive atmosphere around us. And similarly, by performing acts of kindness. I've always said, make it a goal. I try to make it a goal to do one act of random kindness a day. And it has great effect. It's changed me as well. but we can demonstrate our love in tangible ways, making a real difference. So Martha, are you there? Have you got your piece of paper, Martha? Oh, there you are, sorry. I've taken my glasses off, I can't see. Wow, that is looking a great cape.
Get your mic.
Positive communication. Use your words to uplift and encourage others. Avoid gossip and negative talk. Try to give genuine compliments and encourage others when they are feeling down. Words have power, and positive communication can inspire and uplift those around us.
That's great. Thank you so much. And I think, Mum, you've got the last one, number 10. There you go.
Acts of kindness. Practice random acts of kindness. Small gestures like leaving a positive note for someone or paying for a stranger's coffee can create ripples of positivity. These acts, though small, can brighten someone's day and show the power of love in action.
Amen. That's wonderful. So very practical ways where we can show love. So to John, as we said, Jesus was a divine superhero, performing miracles, teaching profound truths, and embodying great love. And the relationship between Jesus and John teaches us these lessons, deep lessons about love, about being present, courage, service, and kindness. And by embracing these principles in our daily lives, we can transform not just ourselves, but those around us. So let's make a conscious effort to live out these values and live our Christian lives demonstrating and speaking Christian love, the love of Jesus Christ. Amen.
Thanks for listening to the Northgate Church podcast. Find out more at northgate.org.uk or find us on social media by searching Northgate Church Chester.